Hey, Mikey,
Hey.
it comes to a time in people's lives like trolls where they have to just come out and be honest with the thing that they're messing with.
Okay.
Today, we're going to look at one of those and I guess a weird angle of this new saga for Daniel Larson
Oh.
while he's going to be federally pounded in his bottom.
The banana best show! Greatest is cooking! Hell yeah! The banana best show! Banana best show! Ring the sink in the dumb wall. Laughing at them cause we want the smoke. The banana best show!
So last week, we talked about Daniel Larson being arrested by the FBI for
Yeah.
multiple counts of threatening with a bomb.
Yeah, because he basically recorded and yelled.
Yeah, about Kale too. Um, Folks, before we begin with this, one shout out to one of our producers, the Leaping Lemur. He
Yes.
covered this, but I don't want to keep using his videos. Check him out. He does great work. Also, we have T-shirts.
Yes.
Go to our shop. Right now, there's two. There's going to be more shirts out there. There's the original just logo of the Banana Bear Show. That's your standard one.
It's
It's
the
always going to
one
be there.
that is down at the bottom in the center that Cyrax is holding, but it's not. It
Yep.
doesn't have Cyrax on this T-shirt.
Not yet. And then we have another one, which what is it called now?
Propaganda Bear. Propaganda Banana Bear.
Yeah, it's the old '60s cartoonish Banana Bear. The only Banana Bear part in there is the logo on the sleeve. Whatever. A lot of the shirts are not going to have like Banana Bear on it. They're low-cal fun shirts. So pick one up. They're cheap. We don't get that much from it, but
Yeah, we made them
that,
purposely cheap because we want you guys to be able to get one.
yeah. So check those out. More on the way. So Mikey, with all those promotions out of the way, let's get down to it. Daniel Larson, one of
Real,
his.
real quick,
Oh,
I want to give a shout out to the person that came up with the propaganda banana bear. Uranus killer. Mwah. Thank you for the name. So we took that and properly put it on that shirt. So
yeah, it had some weird name before. So uh, right now we're gonna get into the actual topic of the video.
yep.
One of Daniel Larson's managers came clean to him, and this video is brought to us by Larson Leak, and it's done in a very professional way. And after this, we'll talk about what's going on with Daniel Larson a little bit more. Epic music.
Yeah.
On April 30th, 2024, Daniel Larson's life was forever changed. A sudden communication blackout from Daniel to his management team signaled that something was awry. A call with his manager Clark would confirm the gravity of the situation.
Oh my god. I'm doing okay. The
You,
feds pretty much got me.
the feds got you?
And we heard that this call last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time the feds got me. I went to probation yesterday, and sure enough, the feds were there, and they charged me with 7 counts of, threats from the threats that I made.
7 counts of threats?
Yep, under federal court.
Holy shit.
He's done so well
He doesn't sound scared at all.
because he's home.
So this shit.
The tone in their voices make it clear. This was not no ordinary arrest or incident. The implications were major. The violence and threats in question originated from one of Daniel's notorious YouTube channels, and for legal reasons, we cannot show the full posts, but they have been reposted multiple times on Reddit. Consisting of explicit threats and self-incriminating admissions, these posts raised grave concerns among viewers. Law enforcement surprisingly
That face.
reached out to members of Daniel's management team requesting proof of his threats. Members promptly provided the gruesome posts, ultimately giving officials the final piece of evidence needed to arrest Daniel. It turns out
Oh.
issuing threats against the White House, police stations, family members, and more is never really a smart move. Daniel
No.
now faces severe federal charges for these threats. And when the indictment was revealed, fans knew the end was drawing near, as did
Yeah.
his management team.
I love how that's highlighted. Wrestling person. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because every time someone says Daniel McDougal, they say Diggle Dougal. So nobody knows how to pronounce it. I think it's McDougal.
Yeah. Looks like an
If you
official
follow
spelling.
Daniel's story, you know he had a quote-unquote management team for years, groups of trolls who pranked and fed him misinformation, which his gullible nature led him to believe. If you've watched the Daniel Larson files, you're aware that a relentless individual named Clark has been managing him. Larson Leak interviewed Clark back in December.
He's gonna get what's coming. A couple of my really close friends will say, yeah, like you're weird or whatever, but then like there's always that one, I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but there's always that one girl that likes Daniel that's just like hot as fuck.
Fearing Daniel could be transferred somewhere unreachable,
He's got to be a
pivotal
middle
decision
schooler, right?
the management team that had been
Okay.
trolling him for a staggering 9 months decided it was time to come clean. Daniel would have to confront the reality that his fantasy world was never authentic. On May 6, 2024, Clark, Daniel's longtime manager, made one final phone call, revealing the truth about everything.
Now, we're not crazy like Daniel.
Right.
Just imagine if you thought you were a sane mind, the reality is one thing.
Uh-huh.
And then this happens. Where the Truman Show is over. You now know it's all fake.
Oh, I never thought about it like that.
I present to you the final moments of Daniel Larson.
And follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. Hello?
Okay, Daniel, I need you to listen completely for the next 10 minutes, and I need to talk to you, okay? I need you to not interrupt me, and I need you to be fucking serious right here, because this is probably the only time, it's one of the most important things I'm ever going to tell you. All of this has been, it's fake, man. I mean, I'm not Clark, I'm not a lawyer, I don't work for Interscope. Grace doesn't want to talk to you. There isn't Grace. The only reason Grace knows you is because she thinks either you're a predator and creep, and the only time you've ever talked to Tina was because she was telling you to back away. I mean, it hurts to say UCLA was fake, Interscope was fake. Every single thing that we did, it was fake. I mean, none of that was real, Daniel. I mean, and I can't keep leading you on here. And to be honest, you do need to learn your lesson. And
I love how it's like, oh, everything's like, by the way, you need to learn this lesson.
Yeah, it's like, come on, you've done all this stuff, and now that he's in federal prison, this guy's like, oh, I got to see. I told him. I
wiped
him.
my hands of it, and I'm not a part of it.
No.
I know we've acted like friends for the past 9 months, but really you're a sick guy, man. And I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. Then I would see you send those to 15-year-old Sky Brown, say your things. You need to get some help. And I've been recording everything. We even worked with McDougal for a while, and I'm done. Like it's over, man. There isn't anything else to say. I've been lying to you. I've been faking fucking everything. Grace doesn't even know if she knows who you are, she thinks you're a weirdo. And yeah.
Dong.
I mean, and I get some circumstances, but at the same time, you really are a menace to the streets of Colorado. I'm a 20-year-old kid from St. Louis in community college, and I know literally nothing. So,
Wow.
He sounds like, I'm sorry, you sound like a middle schooler.
I am going to say I won't be
So.
answering any more calls anymore. This is probably the last time we'll ever talk.
Taking it very well.
Does
You
he?
don't. That's the thing, Daniel.
Okay.
You keep convincing yourself.
that's what I was
Grace and
thinking.
all that. It's not. She doesn't want you. Like I've never talked to her in her life. How do you think all our calls end up on the internet too? Like I mean, you're fucked, and it's over. You know. I'm sorry. Not really. At the same time, because this has been the fucking weirdest 10 months of my life. And
Based.
I've had to been talking to a pretty much pedophile for that whole time while also hurting my image. I even got fired from my fucking job in real life for this.
No way.
So,
I want to hear more about that.
In the corner right there, it says Clark has been fired twice.
no, I'm in the middle of the most important call of my life right now.
To be honest, I kind of knew that you were trolling. And that's why I kept questioning everything.
You can hear Daniel speechless, sighing over the phone as Clark breaks the devastating news to him. Without allowing Daniel much chance to express his feelings, Clark abruptly hung up. The call lasted 16 minutes, but mainly consisted of Daniel's muffled responses as Clark repeated himself. Other management members felt Clark should call Daniel again to properly hear him out, but it might have been too late. The following day, when one more call was scheduled, Clark went radio silent. After hours of silence, Clark resurfaced with concerning messages in the Discord group. He shared a screenshot of a text from Bob Proctor that read, "Daniel wants to talk to you. He says he got in a fight. Sorry for the intrusion." It appeared Daniel had gotten into an altercation with other inmates, and everyone urgently wanted Clark to call Daniel immediately, but he didn't comply. Clark later revealed he had just gotten fired from his job for being quote-unquote too drunk. With the lore's finale in his grasp, Clark
Hold on,
ghosted the group, leaving other members.
No, if he got fired for being too drunk, that's not on Daniel. Like, that has nothing to do with any of this. Like, my next thing is that the reason he got fired from his other two jobs is because he came in too drunk, and he's like, oh, there's a locale and Daniel.
Oh yeah, well, you don't understand. I've been dealing with this pedophile.
I mean, I
10 months,
understand.
and it's been fucking my reality up.
I understand it's a lot to handle, and I don't think I would be able to do it.
Yeah, especially because he's 20-year-old, and think about nowadays. For us, that would be 16, because our generation kind of grew up a little faster than this one.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, our 18 is their 24. You may disagree or agree with me.
No, I agree. I agree.
Because you're more sheltered. You have less life experiences. Fucked up shit happen, at least to me or people I know around, 18, 19, 20. Then they're not going to see that until they're like 23.
Well, no, here's the thing. It's you get exposed to more because you have the internet, but they're not emotionally mature.
It hasn't. The grit of life hasn't sandpapered your skin yet.
Yeah, they do everything through the lens of the internet, which I think it really puts a barrier between real life and what's going on. It's this barrier of the internet, and it makes it like TV or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it does something. And a lot of younger people are not mature as we were because we had to deal with a lot of real world stuff. We didn't have the filter of the internet. Like they are definitely exposed to more, and there is a lot of illegal substances used in like younger, like stuff that I saw in high school. middle schoolers are seeing.
Mhm.
So it's like, so they have to deal with that stuff, but then I think the internet plays a big part in keeping them not able to deal with some stuff because it's like this game or this TV show that they're watching from afar.
The horrors of life, some of them creeped into the internet without the repercussions of it.
Yeah.
And then you have this generation that also, the biggest thing on a lot of their minds is, oh, global warming, we're all going to die.
That too.
Which is funny because our generation, they had the global warming thing, but like, we're like, it's not going to happen for quite a while. And what can we do about it other than use less fossil fuels, all this stuff? And now it's coming out that's kind of a lie. But like, um, they're in echo chambers.
Yeah.
And those echo chambers keep feeding bad stuff. So you have this overwhelming stuff to younger people. They don't know how to cope with it without getting that grit from the outside. That's why you have a lot of people that like are boy or men that are 18. They've never interacted with a girl, all that stuff, and then they have all this grit, and then she dumps you, and it's not a learning experience. It's the end of the world because you're 18 and she was the love of your life, but it's not really.
Yeah.
It's for another topic, but it does go to show like these trolls, the ones that were interacting with Larson, they were doing it for the lulz.
Yeah.
Not thinking of any of the repercussions. And they just so happened to have one of the most vile people. And to keep it going, they had to keep playing around. And mentally, they probably couldn't take it.
Stranded without warning. After attempting to persuade Clark to redo the final call, he reluctantly agreed.
Okay.
Recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now. Hello?
Hi, Daniel.
Hi.
Okay, so
Sorry, before you say anything, I want to tell you that I am extremely sorry, and I want to try to fix our friendship.
I mean, it's not just, I feel like you have a lot of people to say sorry to, mostly, not just me, more like Bob and the restaurants and all the people that, even Grace, in a way, for tormenting her and her family for the past couple years.
I agree, and I will take the blame, but I want to fix everything. You know, we all make mistakes.
He is so fucking
Delusional.
He's worse than you can imagine.
Yeah.
Truman Show just told you you're a show, and you're saying, "But how can I fix it?"
Yeah.
Bro, it's not real.
Yeah.
Stop it. This fake reality is so important to him.
I mean, that's all he has. He doesn't have anybody else. He's alienated everybody in his life. He's alienated people just randomly.
I would imagine. Well, it's hard to because I'm not Daniel Larson.
Yeah.
Nobody is Daniel Larson. But if you were like this, man, and like your reality is crumbled, and you kind of knew it, but you still played along with it because this is a movie. This is your movie. But then you realize it's a movie. It's not real life. And those, when you're bowling, if you suck at bowling, they have the bumpers.
Yeah.
Those bumpers are gone.
Yeah.
And he's been hitting pins this whole time, not realizing that it should have been gutters.
It's been bouncing back and forth, and he gets a strike, and he's like, yeah, and then you take the things away, and it's like, oh, gutter ball.
I'm dating Grace Vanderwall, blah, 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 and then realizing, no, it's been an AI. You have never talked to her.
Yeah.
You know, we all make mistakes, and it's how we move forward that matters. Right? And it's how we make progress.
I agree, and I know that Bob's been talking to you recently, so I hope you said sorry to him and everything. because I'm surprised he's even still talking to you
Heck
after
yeah.
everything that went down.
I understand. And, you know, with Grace, I also understand what you said about it.
And that starts with me being honest too, and I regret even all the fake Graces and all that. Yeah, that wasn't right to do for Grace too, because I don't know her in real life, and I know she was probably not happy with people pretending to be her for the past couple years. So that does start with us too. But I mean, the way you took it was a little too far in some ways, and I
Some
mean, I
ways.
do think,
I do agree.
yeah.
You know, we've been in contact for so long now. You know what I mean? I want us to be friends.
Oh
I
no.
mean, you do understand everything I told you, though, in the last call. Like, all of this has been pretty much made up. I know it's hard for you to know, but you got to realize that before the trial, before they think you're crazy.
Right. And, you know, I agree.
I don't think he understands what's going on.
I think he might understand a little bit. He's just trying to save what he thought was a friendship. Because imagine everything goes away, and this guy is the last person you talk to, and he has been in contact with you consistently for years.
No, well, 9 months.
9 months. Well, why does he say 2 years and stuff?
No, 2 years. Grace Vanderwall, fake Grace Vanderwall has.
Oh, but okay. Well,
mean,
he's talked to the same guy for 9 months.
And I do have to say that I do kind of know I do know what my post-sister is going to ask tomorrow, but I don't know if they're going to approve it this time or the next court date. But I do know that we're making progress in the right direction.
Okay, well, I think this was a good conversation, but everything starts with a couple sorries here and there. Do you have anything that you want to say to, like, everybody out there? Like, because I'm guessing people are going to get these phone calls through that. So you should, if you want to explain yourself to everybody on Reddit.
You
And
know, what I want is I want an apology to the entire fan base, and not only his fan base, but I want, you know, an apology going out about the meaning of the phone call and stuff like that.
and just everything, even Sky
Like
Brown.
literally everything at this point. You know, I mean, if we go into detail, it's going to be way too much right now.
True.
You know what I mean? And we're on a timed phone call with, you know, money going through. I'm to a point to where, like, I want to try to fix this with everything, and I want the real truth to be heard.
And the truth will be heard, Daniel. So I gotta go, but I'm out. See ya. Clark out.
That may have just captured Daniel's final moments of outside contact. These charges appeared dire, marking the end of potentially all of this, the whole entire story, the end of Daniel Larson. I'm Kusari. I want to thank Flexburger for having me read this for you guys. It's really awesome being able to work on projects with the community. So yeah, you guys can check out my channel and all that. You know where to find me. You can support Larson League and stay updated by following their social media links on screen.
So,
Yeah, go do that, by the way.
so with that being said, what did his counsel do? They're now we could pull up the thing, but I'm just gonna regurgitate what I read.
Okay.
Trying to be as clear as I can. His lawyer is saying, look, these charges are going against my defendant's First Amendment right to free speech.
Okay.
And him being homeless and being in the situation he's in, these are going against his rights. On top of that, you guys took him, arrested him while he was complying to a warrant. Like, so it's they're trying to dampen what happened by saying, you know, he's not mentally ill there. because I know that initially that was going to be their defense that he's crazy, right?
Right.
Um, but it's more than that now.
Yeah, but I mean, is he really crazy? Because he has lucid moments where he's like, "Oh, I understand," and then I mean, you could argue, does he really understand? Um, I don't think that this is a First Amendment thing because you can't go out and yell fire in a crowded place, or you can't threaten people. I mean,
For
you
safety.
can, but there are consequences. I mean, I'm not a lawyer by any means, so whatever. You go public defender, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really doing anything. I think they should definitely stick for it with the crazy and get him institutionalized because that's where he should be. Because obviously he can't function in society, at least right now. Maybe after he goes through therapy, gets a strong support system, maybe Bob comes back, maybe they get him in some kind of assisted living situation, get him on some medication if that's what he needs. Maybe after all that, he can come back out to society and understand, like, there are people out there and you have to know what's real and what's not. That's the biggest thing I think that he needs to learn is don't just do stuff.
So let me go through the thing.
Okay.
Um, make sure it's the right one.
Okay.
There's 7 pages, so bear with me.
Okay.
Although it is not clear whether Mr. Larson uh, intended uh, to act on these threats, or whether he had the means to go out in these threats.
Of course he doesn't have the means. Of course he's not going to truly act out on these threats. He doesn't act out on like his in-person stuff that he has a chance to like punch somebody. That's like that he has got to plea out. Like it's going to be a plea out. He's going to go to some mental health institution, but he'll probably be there like 10 years.
Well, it says he had 4 prior warrants. He appeared in statements that he went to jail and knows how to make a bomb. 4 prior warrants. He failed to appear,
Right.
invoking a number of state court matters.
Yeah.
He was state court penitentiary 2 separate times during multiple offense. The state offered him to complete a mental health evaluation, which he failed to do so.
Okay. Yeah.
In effect, it's basically saying that he's not going to be released.
Yeah, he's not going to be released. There's no way in this world that he gets released back on the streets without any charges or anything like that. He can't be. He doesn't have a home. He doesn't have reliable transportation. I mean, they have to keep him in just for that to make sure he shows up to his appointments.
So his pretrial is going to be the 10th of June.
Okay.
A response due by 6/24/2024. No later than 6/26 is set such a hearing trial change of plea hearing set for 7/10. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's gonna it's set to be a 5-day jury trial set to commend on 7/15.
I don't see it lasting that long.
I think it's going to be that if the only thing he could get away with, and it should go this way, that he's not mentally competent. However, I've stated this before. He has proven that he knows the difference between right and wrong
Yes.
by when he talks to police officers. So that's gonna fuck him over.
A little bit. But you can have lucid moments whenever you're crazy. So
One last thing. There's a note in here in the new entry that he could still take a plea deal before the trial and most likely will 14. Whatever that means.
did you say 14 or team?
No, will 14.
14.
Before the trial, the 14th, maybe they're talking.
Oh, okay.
Or that 14 is in there for no apparent reason. So he may take the plea deal. If he takes a plea deal, that means he can't be insane. He's just going to take his act, which sadly, how he is, because he says he's not crazy. Well, crazy
Right.
people never say they're crazy. No shit.
Right.
If you look at all the content he's done, how they were able to manipulate him, he's not all there. So that's the update. We're probably not going to talk about him until the trial, or if anything else happens.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Daniel Larson, good job, Daniel Larson. You finished your story.
For now.
Now we're looking at that, like, when the credits, like before the credits hit, they have like the epilogue. We're just finding out how long he's going to be in jail for.
Yeah.
Because the big thing is, the big reason why they're not going to let him go is because he's going to go back online and do more threats.
Yeah.
And having his manager say all these things confirms that he is mentally not all there.
Right.
He still wants to be friends with the guy that ruined his life.
Yeah. That literally led him down this road to federal charges. I mean, that's not Clark's fault for him getting federal charges. That's all Daniel.
It's partially, though. Keep feeding him that illusion.
He put him in situations, but all the stuff that was done, Daniel chose to do. So now he may have thought in his warped mind that this was the right thing to do based on the knowledge he had, but arguably because he does have these lucid moments, like you said earlier, how much was he doing just for clout?
And if you think about it, so he was getting shit from the government, I guess. So if you mandate that into the cost of putting him into jail, it's probably around the same cost.
Yeah.
So the judge is probably like, not losing any money here. And if anything, it's better to have him locked up because we know where he is. He can't hurt anybody. Plus all the PDF file stuff.
Well, he can get put into a, what is it? A locked
Psych
up
ward?
psych ward thing. Yeah.
If it's a psych ward, like I said, if that happens, if it's like Ohio, if you become a ward of the state, he's done. He's not going to be getting out because what they do in those nowadays, because they can't do any treatment, unless you voluntarily go into there, they sedate you, and you're just a vegetable. Which may be the best thing for Daniel Larson. At least he's safe and he's not hurting anybody. He's not hurting himself. Which is sad to say. But how vile of a person he is, I don't look at him as a person anymore.
No.
Because he's done so many things. And like I said before, everyone is weird.
In their own little
but
way.
They don't say it or act on it. He's past that line where he's willing to just talk to a 14-year-old and, try to sex them up.
Gross.
Even though he knows it's wrong. So that's it. Fuck Daniel Larson. One day he'll be on a $2 bill because he was a president.
And with that, guys,
who's more hated, him or Thomas Jefferson?
I don't know.
I think Daniel Larson is. He deserves to be on the $2 bill.
I mean, the people who know about him hate him, definitely, but
everybody I've introduced Daniel Larson to hate him.
Okay, that's fair. And with that, go check out the Banana Bear Show on YouTube. Check out our producer, the Leaping Lemur, also on YouTube, does live streams pretty much every night.
And he did do a video on this, I believe.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't want to keep using his stuff.
Yeah, go check out his videos as well. And be sure to like and subscribe to our videos, Banana Bear Show on YouTube, and comment and let us know what you think of this video and all of our others. We have many others, all of Daniel Larson's stuff leading up to now, pretty much. Just an overview of it. I think there's a few things we don't cover here and there. And be sure to check out our shirts. Hopefully we will be having some of our own shirts in the next upcoming videos here in a couple weeks. And I think that's it. We'll see you next video. Bye.
Kale, kale, kale.